Premature babies were evacuated from the facility to a hospital in southern Gaza. Well, today, those babies, some of them crossed into Egypt, where they will receive more medical care.
Now, there's fighting today near another hospital in Gaza, where Palestinian officials say 12 people were killed in Israeli bombings. A Trump criminal case goes to an appeals court this morning. At issue, the special counsel in the federal election interference indictment wants a gag order reinstated.
The order barring the former president from making inflammatory statements about lawyers in the case and potential witnesses. Trump's lawyers call the gag order unconstitutional and present no evidence that his words caused harm or made anyone feel threatened.
Fox's Chris DeMeo. Former First Lady Rosalind Carter has died at age 96 at home in Georgia. Former President Jimmy Carter, who is also in hospice care, was by her side. He called her his political partner with her own White House office, even attending cabinet meetings.
That was the beginning of a lifelong crusade for me, to try to help make life better for people with mental illnesses.
President Biden paid tribute, calling the Carters an incredible family. Today, the president will celebrate his 81st birthday and carry out a Thanksgiving week tradition, pardoning 2 turkeys at the White House. America's listening to Fox News.
Don't miss Provember at Lowe's. Save $80 on a DeWalt combo kit and save $20 on a 5-gallon pail of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams All-Purpose Power Primer. Plus, MVP's members earn 3 times the bonus points on DeWalt and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams products. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Bonus points calculated before tax and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22, subject to change.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Former President Trump remains the frontrunner by far in the Republican White House race. A new NBC News poll gives him a 40-point lead over Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, with Nikki Haley in third, 5 points further back. That poll's also the latest to give the former president a slight lead over President Biden head-to-head. The same day, there was a new Trump endorsement.
It was the announcement from Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott that surprised no one.
I'm here today to officially proclaim my endorsement for Donald J. Trump to be president of the United States of America again.
As he took the stage in Edinburgh, Texas, the former president promised to reduce Governor Abbott's workload.
Normal governing, things like streets and education and medical, and you're not going to have to worry about the border anymore.
Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The former president posted on Truth Social congratulations to Argentina's president-elect, saying he's very proud of him.
Javier Milei will be the world's first ever libertarian head of state. He secured a nearly 12-point victory over the Argentina economy minister after campaigning largely on the nation's crippling economy. The political outsider saying the changes he will bring to Argentina will be drastic and immediate. Now, there's likely a tough road ahead for the outsider, who's tasked with addressing the nation's $400 billion debt, a 140% inflation rate, and fuel and medicine shortages.
That's Fox's Todd Pyro. On Wall Street, stock futures are down slightly, coming off a third straight week of gains. On Sunday Night Football,
Vikings bring the heat again. Wilson throwing, it's up for grabs, and he's caught for the touchdown.
that Russell Wilson to Cortland Sutton late TD was the game winner for Denver, beating Minnesota 21-20 on NBC. The Broncos' 4th straight win snaps the Vikings' 5-game win streak. Division leaders Detroit, Jacksonville, Miami, and San Francisco also won. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois is investing an additional $160 million to address the migrant crisis in Chicago. Funding is going to be used to help set up an intake center, a winterized tent shelter site, and other assistance designed to help resettle immigrants stranded at public police stations, airports, and other locations. State's already spent $500 million in response to the issues. Illinois State Police celebrating the promotion of Rebecca Hooks from Lieutenant Colonel, the first deputy director. First deputy director Hooks, the first female to achieve the position, with ISP since its inception back in 1922. She's the second in command to Director Brandon Kelly. Hooks has served with ISP for more than 21 years. Ameren, Illinois rate hike request being cut in half. Illinois Commerce Commission disallowed more than $36 million to the utilities rate request for its natural gas delivery services in Illinois. The decision nearly 51% lower than Ameren's initial request for a more than $71 million increase. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hey, good morning. It's a short week here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is.
Moms and dad, boys and girls. We got Greg Solier, our meteorologist, brought to you by Carl.
And Carl reminds you, sometimes the holidays aren't so fun, and it pushes people into addiction. Stevie, we talked to Todd Beard about the Recovery Center at Carl on Friday. It can have a lot of answers in case you're facing some issues. Carl.org for details.
Well, Mr. Meteorologist Greg Solier, I see a little cooler this week, but I'm telling you, this continues to be nice. And you mentioned El Nino and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. I do believe it looks like a good start to December based. I don't know, but I'm hopeful.
Well, I mean, cold, and no two El Ninos are alike. This is not your atmospheric professor's El Nino set up this year, as in the textbook classic scenario, what we used to call the old Pineapple Express, from wave after wave of storms from Hawaii to California into the southern states. May have that look once in a while, but I think there's going to be a little more cold and certainly a fair amount of moisture as we get deeper into the wintertime season around here. But you have a good point that at least the start of December, while cold, does look to be fairly quiet around here. Not quiet. Maybe you give a call down to Johnny's place with severe weather likely down there this afternoon and evening time, and enhanced risk of some big storms down there. I mean, Mother Nature doesn't care what the calendar is, so they're going to get roughed up pretty good. We have a little bit of light rain back to the west of us, a few sprinkles southwest of Rockford, west of about Capitol Airport at Springfield. A little rain down towards St. Louis. 44 now at Willett and Savoy. Not much of a climb. We'll get to about 50, close to it, and then the rains come through, and then temperatures will slide a little bit. Most of the rains, outside of a sprinkle this morning, get going this afternoon. Rainy tonight and through tomorrow morning. Close to an inch expected. Lows tonight down around 45. Not much of a climb tomorrow on temperatures either, but no super cold air either. No snow with the system, with a high tomorrow at about 46 degrees. So about 28 tomorrow night. We do get some sunshine. Dry roads, good visibilities within about a day's drive of East Central Illinois here Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day Thursday. 44 Wednesday. Thanksgiving Day high of about 46 up to 43 on Friday. A little upper system may bring some snowflakes and sprinkles in here for Saturday. Nothing on Sunday. Weekend high temperatures a little above 40 degrees. We'll let some colder air then settle in for early to mid next week, with daytime readings only in the 30s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldgate.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much. Raven Harrison, happy Thanksgiving week. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving week.
Good to have you back. Raven joins us. Her book is Raven's Mantle. What is that about?
It is fighting the betrayal of America. This is how we got in trouble the first time in our country in the Cold War, and how we're going to get out of it this time.
Okay, so the new narrative, because Donald Trump has hinted at this, that they've kind of opened Pandora's box, and we're going to root out the thugs from the left when I'm back in charge. Is that mean using the government, much like Joe Biden is, to get your political opponents?
Oh, boy.
Are we into that now?
I don't think so. I think what we have to do is we have to put this right, though, because this is having the government do this in the first place, being weaponized against a political opponent. Joe Biden started this, but we got to reset it. What it reminds me of is when we used to play dodgeball, and some kid would just pelt you with that dodgeball, leave a print on your face, and then it was your turn to get the ball, and they want to change the game, they want to change the rules, they want to say no hitting above the neck, and that's what I feel like you're looking at right now.
I mean, is it even possible when you say drain the swamp? I understand the verbiage, and it makes sense, and all they get. How? I mean, how could he possibly be president when everybody's leaking anything he says out of context? That's what happened the first time. I don't know if you have the inside part of the government, the swamp per se. How can you possibly lead in that role if you can't have a private conversation?
Well, I think it's a two-part, and I would just like to say I usually don't refer to D.C. as the swamp. I feel like local politics is the swamp. D.C. is the sewer that drains into. So I always like to make that distinction. The second part has to do with understanding that we have got to reset the traitors in our party. We're supposed to have a loyalty to our party. Republican Party is supposed to be limited government, fiscal responsibility, and pro-life. That's not being held by the majority of the Republicans. So what you're seeing is even when Donald Trump was there the first time, people weren't backing him up. We got nothing done when we had all three branches. Now it's important this time he comes back is to make sure that we reset these. We have to get all of these people out who are voting against the party, who are whiffle-waffling, and who are beholden to lobbyists. That's how we're going to fix it.
Okay, that's going to take a long time. You think we'd ever have a chance to say, listen, everybody in Washington, you're good, it doesn't affect you, but in the future, we want to have term limits. Would they ever vote for that?
They would never vote for that, but I think what we need to look, instead of just term limits, we need to have bureaucracy limits. That's what the problem is. So if we can't get them to limit themselves, which they won't do, then we should be limiting these bureaucracies, just like the president is limited to 2 terms.
Yeah.
But yet then we can have Pelosi, who's been there since before the Internet, and McConnell, who freezes on live TV every day. That's where we have to stop it. It's going, okay, the check and balances have to be set at the top level. We're giving judges lifetime appointments. We're doing all of these things. We don't have the check and balance set right now. This was supposed to be a civic duty, not a career path for failed human beings, which is what it's become.
Remember,
the government needs to be completely reset.
I told Diane this. I said the bureaucracy in Washington, people were the IRS, FBI, good people. You got 10 years. At year 8, somebody's coming in to train, and just you go back and get your job that you used to have or something.
That's right.
I don't know. I mean, wouldn't that be it'd be healthier?
It would be to just to kind of look at it as a civic duty.
Yeah.
Instead of a career path with a golden parachute, which is where we kind of are now. So it's going to be, you're going to see a lot of changes coming up even in 24. The grassroots are really rising up because we're seeing what the result is of having people who've just been there too long and they don't care anymore.
Yeah.
They're rich and pointless.
I think we can probably forego the PhD thesis that over the last at least 2,000 years, not much has changed when it comes to power and greed and don't threaten my position or you're in trouble. I mean, that nothing has changed with that human element, Raven.
Correct. Well, nothing's going to change on that, but if you're looking at what happened, here's the success story. Look what happened in Argentina. That was one of the richest countries in the world, and it was destroyed by socialism, communism, but the people fought back. Nobody thought they managed to get all their ballots counted in one day. Go figure. Back to paper ballots, but it can be done. That's what I tell people. It can be done when we, the people, decide we've had enough, but we have to be that level of outraged.
Okay, so last question. I'm going to ask all the smart people I know this one until I get an answer that satisfies me. So we had 168 million people registered to vote in 2020, right?
Yes.
We had 68% turnout, which would leave about 112, 114 million people that would have voted. How is it that Joe Biden and Donald Trump combined for 156 million votes?
Correct, because they didn't. Okay, it's statistically.
Wait a minute, hold on. Mega conspiracy!
Right.
Mega! January 6th!
I would say I was an economic experiment, a math extremist, because, I can add basic numbers, and those don't add up. It's not statistically possible.
How come I invented that whole thought process last week? I've never heard of that. I never heard anybody questioning that.
Because you're an extremist.
Thank you. Raven, how can people find your book?
They can find it on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble and in select bookstores.
Okay. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
You too. Adore you both. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Take care.
Raven Harrison in Oklahoma this morning.
No politics around the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah, that's it.
Keep the mood light.
That's exactly right.
Do not discuss the things you've heard on this show.
All right, let's just make it easy. How about that football? No, don't say that. How about the Bear? No, don't say that.
Illini basketball.
Basketball's 4-1.
You could go there. Go Illini.
Come on.
So, do we want to listen to some Brad Underwood?
We'll do that in just a few when I have a little longer cut. I got Brett Bielema, who was as disappointed and absolutely bummed after the game. His press conference lasted 6 minutes.
I see.
The man was it was dejection.
Oh, guy
really
was holding
tough.
out hope. 3 minutes left in the game. Number 16, Iowa beats Illinois 15-13 on Saturday.
You know, name a game where it hasn't been every game's been one score.
I know.
They're all like this. Now, we are 5-2 in games like that. We've been on the beneficiary of that.
Yep.
But, boy, just the ball getting batted down to the line of scrimmage happened. And Brent made reference to that after the game, saying, you know what, there are things you can do to keep those guys' arms down.
Yeah.
We have to coach them better.
That's right.
But we thought maybe we had another one in us.
I had some texts coming in from relatives around the world, and I was saying, just wait, our kicker's good. We can do this.
Yep.
Anyway, Senior Day will be honored Saturday, 2:30, as we face Northwestern in Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, whatever the big coat you had, bring it.
Have that ready.
In the 20s.
We want you to stay healthy throughout the holiday season.
It might be, 30, 32 at kickoff. It's going to be a cold day, but it is Senior Day. Goodbye, Johnny Newton. Goodbye, all these. But it obviously is the gateway to the bowl. We win, we go. We don't, we don't. So
yeah.
And Northwestern's already wrapped up a bowl. Can you believe them?
Right.
What?
I know it.
This team was talking about cutting football.
So when I was walking out of church, we were talking about, the bowl, you remember you were saying, well, such and such team has to win, and so are we totally eliminated?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Iowa is your champion. They get to go play probably Michigan.
Okay.
I think Michigan will beat Ohio State in Ann Arbor.
Right. Well, Ohio State number 2, Michigan number 3, both teams 11-0. Penn State at number 11 and Iowa 20. Now in this latest poll, when it comes to our Big Ten teams, of course, Illinois women's volleyball beating Michigan was great.
Yeah.
And now they've got Friday in Minnesota, so that season is wrapping up. Illinois volleyball now 16-12, 11-7 in the conference. And Illinois volleyball has wrapped up for the Parkland Cobras. They wrapped it up at 46-6. So Terrence Shannon Jr., 24 points in yesterday's win over Southern. 88-60 was the final. And now Western Illinois at 8 o'clock on Friday.
Okay.
I believe we have some tickets here in case people want to text in. We got to take care of that today. It's 359-2255 if you want to text in Illini. Our women were beat by number 16 Notre Dame, 79-68 in D.C. So their next game will be on Sunday. We had the Bears losing to Detroit 31-26. Green Bay in a tight one over the LA Chargers came out on top 23-20, and it's Philadelphia at Kansas City for NFL action tonight at 7:15.
Replay of the Super Bowl. Our weather now brought to you by Urbana Park District.
And they've got the turkey trot. It steps off at 9 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning at Crystal Lake Park in Urbana. It's a 1-mile walk or run. urbanaparks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Van Ness vicinity as expected. And this Thanksgiving week, we'll lead it off with a widespread rain system making its way out of the plains. A few drops are expected this morning. More widespread activity this afternoon. For a time tomorrow, we'll move into some chilly weather the middle part of the weekend, and an even colder air mass that builds on in over the course of the weekend. That too may be preceded by a weak weather system. For the day-to-day, cloudy, breezy, turning cooler up to about 50. Temperatures will slide back into the 40s as rain moves in during the course of the day-to-day. Best coverages this afternoon, as well as tonight, with periods of rain overnight lows right around 45 and a gusty easterly wind. For the day tomorrow, some rain in the morning, cloudy, windy, turning cooler, highs to about 46, and then falling temperatures in the afternoon. Down to 20 tomorrow night, partly cloudy, windy, cold, 44 on Wednesday, 46, and some sunshine for Thanksgiving Day Thursday. We'll cloud things up on Friday, maybe a couple of snow, rain showers on Saturday. Weekend high temperatures near 40. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Greg Solgay.
Reach your savings goals. Busey Bank's CD specials can help. Watch your money grow with competitive rates and offers. Visit Busey.com/CD rates. Visit your local service center or call 1-800-67-BUSEY today. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stock futures are narrowly higher on this holiday-shortened week. The markets are off for Thanksgiving Day, and there's a short trading day on Friday. The recent rally has been led by lower interest rates and speculation that the Federal Reserve can start lowering rates by the middle of next year. Microsoft shares are up more than 1% after the company revealed it has hired artificial intelligence developer Sam Altman to lead a new Microsoft AI research team. OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT, pushed Altman out as chief executive on Friday. The credit crunch and hybrid work are making it harder for office owners to get loans. The Wall Street Journal says the share of some office loans that are delinquent has tripled over the past year to more than 5%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
Get all of your favorite Fox News podcasts ad-free on Apple Podcasts with Fox News Podcasts Plus. From Trey Gowdy, the Fox News Rundown, Will Kane, Brian Kilmeade, and so much more. Go to foxnewspodcasts.com for all the details. The Fox News Rundown, a contrast of perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. Your daily dose of news twice a day, featuring insight from top newsmakers, reporters, and Fox News contributors. Listen and subscribe now by going to foxnewspodcasts.com.
When you're buying a battery, it's important to look beyond just the price and make sure you're buying a quality battery. So when you're buying one from the big box store, make sure you ask the question, what's the date on this battery? Is it dependable? Sometimes the big box stores have batteries that have been sitting on the shelf for years. Or you can just come to Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable, and buy your battery from the people who only do batteries. Interstate Batteries at 2504 North Madison, Champaign. Way out there, but totally worth the drive. How much is dependable worth to you? Interstate Batteries, open 6 days a week.
Crossroads Contractor Supply specializes in the delivery of tools and supplies within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana. Reliable, timely, and with reasonable prices, Crossroads Contractor Supply knows what equipment and tools are needed for your job. Get the job done right with proper tools and equipment. Did something break? Construction materials, tools, as well as safety equipment, all available at Crossroads Contractor Supply. Visit crossroadscontractorsupplyil.com.
Hi, it's Stevie Jay. So I took my mom into Audubell, owned by Jeff Hanley, who owns 13 locations around central Illinois. She's had so much trouble hearing for so long. Audubell, Audibel, for hearing. And some of the new technologies, they've got AI now for some of these hearing aids, and they're virtually invisible. It's unbelievable, and it helped my mom. It helped her incredibly. We've been to other places. This is by far the best place I've ever been in for hearing help. Go to audibelteam.com. That's Audibel. If you want more information about Audubell and how Jeff Hanley and his amazing culture and amazing team that they have, go to audibelteam.com. That's Audibel, audibelteam.com. You'll be so happy you found Audubell. Amazing work. They got a location in Champaign. Go to audibelteam.com. That's audibelteam.com. Here's what one shopper said about Pard's Western Shop in Urbana, 306 North Maple, between Main and University. He said, sure, you can find boots at some big box stores, but nothing like Pard's selections. They're unique, they're local, and they have an excellent store. So many people that visit Pard's in Urbana say the same thing. Pard's in Urbana, 306 North Maple. You can find the best boots in the world and shop local. Visit pards.com, pards.com. I'm not going to spend much time on the Iowa game because I don't want to.
Okay.
But here's Brett after the game. You could hear his dejection in his voice. It was really a tough one. We were winning the whole game.
This is Brett
Bielema. Brett Bielema.
Not being able to pull that off, play like that for, just short of 4 quarters the way we did, taught our prep during the course of the week and our intensity, and kept preaching these guys all week, showed them different examples that every play is going to matter. And then obviously, I think that final drive defensively, we've done so many good things, but we had 2 DPIs on that drive and gave them too much free yards, and then they hit a crease run that we'd stopped all day, just one guy here, one guy there, and it ends up being the difference in the ball game. And then obviously the failure to execute on that last drive. I just think there's some things we can do better as coaches to help our players to get better at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 6 minutes is all he spent with the media, which is shortest of the year. Just wasn't much to say, just real disappointed. That would have done a lot. Now we need to beat Northwestern to go to a bowl. So everything's on the line with one game. Northwestern's already bowl eligible at 6-5, an amazing year. Why isn't the Northwestern coach going to be coach of the year? That team had hazing problems. That team was talking about eliminating the football program. And they put some guy in there who's done that. Now he got a contract and he's the head coach. Anyway, Northwestern comes in. We crushed them last year. We beat them by, 100? We beat them up in North. In Evanston, we won when Sidney Brown scored a touchdown. Chase Brown. The Browns both scored, and we won it going away. Yeah. So they're going to try and pay us back, and we're going to try and go extend the season. It's a big deal. It really is. It's going to be 32 degrees, and I hope people go.
Right.
Because it's for a bowl. It's Johnny Newton's last game. He's going to be gone in the first day of the draft. He'll be another guy you're watching on Sunday. So it'll be nice to have a crowd there. But I know it's Thanksgiving Day weekend. Right?
I know.
All right, Illinois basketball.
Okay.
Terrence Shannon after the game. He's the man.
I don't even remember having 11 straight points, but I just doing what Coach Brad tells me to do. He tells all of us to just run the floor, run hard in transition, rebound, play hard on defense, and turn defense into offense. So that's just what I went out and did.
50-17 on the glass, 110 rebounds in the last two, 60% basically field goal percentage. Probably lead to some pretty good things. I was really pleased with that group at the end of the first half. Finally found a rhythm where we didn't foul. We got some stops, got out and running. I think we had 3 freshmen on the court for a good piece of that, which is always really positive and good to see. Nico was a catalyst in that stretch. Draven defensively was great. And then, Terrence was Terrence. He's literally the best defender in college basketball, and he did that again tonight. But games get hard when you're up 30. Wish we would have finished better. I thought we turned it over a little bit. But, again, this team's won at UNLV by 30, and this team has played some folks awfully close. So I thought we handled our business, and on to the next.
Yep, that'll be Western Illinois Friday night, State Farm. So Illinois is now 4-1 on the season. Here we go. See what we can do.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, boys and girls, on this Thanksgiving Day week, I have a Stever.
Oh.
We're going to give out $500 when you spend $1,000 at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Ooh.
Somebody needs something. I need all appliances.
I'm heading to appliance-world.com because I always dream about some of these things. Now, you said when you walk in the store, if you go to the right...
If you go to the right, you can go see what Nancy Pelosi owns.
Okay, gotcha.
It's really cool,
with the ice cream maker in the refrigerator.
Oh, you got
that sort of
everything
thing.
going. Oh. It's sleek. It's unusual. It's beautiful.
Uh-huh.
But off to the left, you still got all the great stuff. Yeah. It's all good. So what you want to do is go to Dick Van Dyke Appliance World with your $500, and you spend a minimum of $1,000. So if you spend $1,200, you pay $700.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you would take that? Me
too.
So here you go. If you spend $2,000, you only spend $1,500. That's just a discount you will not find anywhere else in the world.
1510 North Neal Street in Champaign, right off of I-74.
So all you do is you text in DVD to 217-359-2255. You're driving, you get to work. It's at GoStever.com. We're going to give you a little more time to get in there since it's Thanksgiving Day week, so I'll give you like 10 days. You have to get in there sometime between now and, say, a week from this weekend.
Actually, their hours Monday through Wednesday are at 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., so you have time to take your partner and look around and see what you'd like. Some people desperate for an answer right before the company comes on Thanksgiving. So.
Well, when an appliance doesn't work, it's just not going to be very easy.
Totally.
Yeah. So if you're looking for an appliance, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Dick Van Dyke, text in DVD 217-359-2255.
Laundry, refrigeration, dishwashers, other kind of appliances like the garbage disposals and the like. We can take care of you.
Do we stress eat? Yes. We do.
Yes.
There's a lot of emotional eating over the holidays.
Yes, there is.
Emotional eaters use food to deal with stress and negative emotions. How can we avoid that? You got it. I got a mental health expert to help us. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
We will talk to a PhD at this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How to help next. ESPN 93.5.
Fighting Illini football is back at Memorial Stadium for the final home game of the season on Saturday, November 25th, as they take on Northwestern in the battle for the Land of Lincoln Trophy. Bring the whole family to enjoy our family fun zone in Grange Grove with bounce houses, food trucks, balloon artists, and tailgating. See you at Memorial Stadium for Fighting Illini football's final home game against Northwestern on Saturday, November 25th. Get $15 tickets at fightingillini.com.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. There's new fighting around another hospital in Gaza. The Hamas-run health ministry there reports 12 people killed in Israeli military strikes on the Indonesian hospital. Israel's released video of Hamas hostages being taken into the Al-Shifa hospital October 7th.
The men are Thai and Nepalese workers flanked by Hamas gunmen. The revelation raising new questions amid the ground fighting about what international organizations that operate within the hospital knew about the hostages.
Fox's Trey Yinks. It's President Biden's 81st birthday. He plans to celebrate with family later this week over the Thanksgiving holiday. Argentina has a new president.
Javier Milei will be the world's first ever libertarian head of state. He secured a nearly 12-point victory over the Argentina economy minister after campaigning largely on the nation's crippling economy.
Fox's Todd Pyro. Milei says he'll base currency on American dollars, ditching the Argentine peso, and says he'll close several government agencies. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. The Illinois Emergency Management Agency and Office of Homeland Security commemorating the 10-year anniversary of the Washington, Illinois tornado. The EF4 tore through the city November 17, 2013, leaving a number of people dead, causing extensive damage to homes, businesses, and infrastructure. State of Illinois is honoring the Chicago firefighter who died on the line of duty over the week. The governor's order that all flags be lowered to half-staff through sunset today. Andrew Price died fighting a fire in Chicago's Lincoln Park neighborhood last week. Services for Price held today in the Navy Pier Grand Ballroom. Illinois' unemployment rate is up. The Department of Employment Security says the state's jobless rate increased by 0.2% last month to 4.6%. Non-farm payroll jobs increased by 15,000 in the month of October. And as far as gas prices, with the Thanksgiving holiday coming up, they're staying pretty seasonal this time of year. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, our weather on ESPN 93.5.
We can have it brought to you by Pia's because they have turkey bowling tomorrow after 7, 1609 West Springfield Avenue in Champaign.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity this Thanksgiving week. No major storm systems in sight. It'll be a bit chillier than average, and primarily any features that do come on by first part of the week will be rain, although over the course of the weekend, perhaps a few snowflakes may be mixed in as we transition back into even colder weather by early next week. Up near 50 for a time today, then falling temperatures as rains move in during the course of the morning, more so this afternoon. Gusty east wind, widespread rains for tonight and tomorrow morning. Lows tonight down around 45, nearly steady temperatures holding around 46 degrees tomorrow with a gusty northerly wind. We'll bottom out at 28 for tomorrow night. Wednesday, partly cloudy, windy, cold, dry weather across the Midwest at large. High temperatures up near 44, maybe a few lake effect showers of snow and rain through Michigan, by the way. Thanksgiving Day here, sunshine, breezy, chilly at 46. We're in the low 40s for Friday into the weekend. Maybe a little rain, snow shower activity due in on Saturday as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchus, Greg Sold.
Okay, Dr. Vince Callahan somewhere in Florida. Is that right, Vince?
Yes, Lakeland, Florida.
Nice. Well, we've had great weather up here in central Illinois, and Florida is Florida. So
yes,
he's a mental health expert who has more than 3 decades of experience in both private practice and inpatient hospital settings. Dr. Vince Callahan. And you'll never be unemployed. You'll be working as much as you want because we got messed up with COVID and everything else. But right now I want to ask you about stress eating. Emotional eaters use food to deal with stress and negative emotions. Here we are with Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. The holidays can be challenging. There are strategies that can help. How common is just let's go to the fridge and graze some more? It's got to be common because I do it too.
Oh, it's probably right up there with breathing.
Okay. Next to breathing. That's good tip. All right, so why are we doing this? Let's get to the crux of this and lay on the couch for a minute.
All right, on the couch. Well, the optimal word there is stress eating. Anytime there is a perceived bear at the door, if I think my mother-in-law doesn't like me, or I'm not living up to expectations, if there's a perceived bear at the door, then my fight, flight, or freeze, alarm bells in my brain go off. My body produces something called cortisol, and I need sugar for fuel for survival. So therefore, I go after the carbs and I go after the sugar so that I can fight, flight, or freeze.
So I know what I'm doing subliminally. So I'm not like planning this. It's just my body goes right to the sugar. I can grab some chocolate chip pieces and things like that.
Yep. Yes, absolutely.
So to be aware of it, I guess, is step one. Don't do that. Stop. That kind of thing.
Right. Well, you've got to be in control of what you eat versus what you eat being in control of you.
So let's talk about staying hydrated and maybe prepping yourself going into the situation by having a few carrot sticks and the like, Vince.
Absolutely. Have a few carrot sticks. But, we can do the 3-bite rule. You're never going to overeat if you say, you know what, it's okay if I just have 3 bites of something and I can have that little bit of sugar and that little taste, because then that releases a little bit of dopamine in my brain, and I feel a little bit better, and I don't have to deal with the guilt and shame that I ate 3 pieces of pie versus just 3 bites.
I could probably take down a whole piece of pie in 3 bites, so there's that.
And you know what? It's what happens when people gain weight? Because that kind of piles on and then piles on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, A, you don't feel very good.
Yeah.
You're not moving very good.
And you just don't want to exercise. Who has time for that?
Yeah.
And you start feeling the guilt and the shame, and then to compensate for the guilt and the shame, you overeat because who cares anyway? So it's a very vicious cycle.
Quit looking over here.
I'm not looking over there. I'm over here. I'm looking that way.
Okay.
Vince, okay, now we get down to the crux of it. We know that this is happening. We know we do this. Can I just get a tip or two from you, a real smart PhD kind of guy? What do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do?
Well, I can tell you what I do, because I'm right there with you. I'm ready to wolf down oatmeal raisin cookies by the pound, and especially this holiday season. So what I do when I go to somewhere, an event, I purposely make a plan of what I'm going to eat. And if I'm going to stay away from the carbs, I'm going to go after the protein. I'm going to use every ounce of willpower that I have to say, you know what, I'm not going to do this. So I don't want to feel the guilt and the shame. Because we run away from the things that we don't really want to feel we can be in control of. So it's just have a plan before you go into it. This is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm not going to do. It's the same thing of drinking. If I'm only going to have one drink, then I don't have to worry about getting a DUI because I made a plan and I stuck to it.
Well, and because you mentioned drinking, that's sort of part of the holidays, and we do have a tendency to overindulge, Vince. In every other drink, you're doing a full cup of water? What's your tips there?
I'm just going to have the one drink, to be honest.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, you've got to use willpower. You've got to have it somewhere in your life, or you'll never get out of the cycle.
Okay.
At some point, you got to say, this is my limit, and this is what I'm not going to do. And until you get to that place, you're always under the control of something else.
I just, I would love everybody to get a perspective, though, because, whoever's listening to me right now, we live in the top 5% of the world as far as our life, our potential, our incredible opportunity. There's 95% below me, and yet I've got problems because the guy in front of me didn't turn on his blinker, and I'm really mad.
Right.
We just don't. I mean, sure, there are a lot of issues and problems people truly have, but spend 3 months in Calcutta, India, and you'll come back a changed person because you just you don't understand that it's not a question of man, I do all this stress eating. They don't eat. They just don't have it. And our family lived there when I was 10. It gave me a perspective for life I never forgot. And it was just that so helpful to me to think that I really, really don't have, I mean, I got stuff, but not like that. I don't, it's not a day-to-day, gosh, I hope we live tonight. It's just a different deal. And because some of the problems and the complaints and the things I hear are just like, golly, just not. It's not really a worldly.
Yes.
It's a first world issue.
And all that negativity and what it can do to yourself. You just got to get in a positive mind space.
Vince, I mean, for people these days, sorry, 1824s, but do you need a safe space when your candidate loses an election? Are you serious? I can't even. What? What would the people, Vince? What would the people off Ellis Island in 1919 think of me now? What are they talking about? What
Big old wuss.
What the heck happened to me? What
like my father used to say to me every time I'd have a conversation, he would ask me two questions: did you work today, and did you make any money? That was what he was. That was all he was concerned about.
Okay.
And yeah, we have all become snowflakes, and that's sad.
It is
because
too bad.
There's a real world going on out there that we need to be a lot more concerned about. And maybe this holiday season we could work on attaching to our families more than attaching to a cookie.
All right, last minute. I talked to a World War II veteran years ago, and we talked for an hour and a half on an airplane. And he was a World War II fighter pilot, nicest man maybe ever. He was in his 90s. And I said, Lloyd, what happened to us? And he shook his head and said, it's my fault. I said, why? He said, I made it too easy. Wow. Vince, how can people find you? Dr. Vince Callahan.
DrVinceCallahan.com. I've got a brand new book out called The Neuro Classroom, Restoring the Stressed Brain. It's all about what happens when your brain's under stress, and it's at DrVinceCallahan.com.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Take care.
742 from Lakeland, Florida today, Dr. Vince Callahan.
DrVinceCallahan.com.
Just aware of what you're doing, walking around. That's
Absolutely.
kind of the key there. Okay, sports headlines coming up. It is 742.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Reekin, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
All right, ESPN 93.5. It is 16 before 8, 744. Diane has some sports headlines.
Well, I don't know where you want to start, Stevie. So much Illini this weekend. What do you have a coach or anything you want to hit or?
No, we just played them.
Okay.
So, I'll
do a quick summary.
Summary's good.
All right. Number 16, Iowa. Although, this latest poll, I think they're 20 in football. But anyway, 15-13 winners over Illinois. And, had so many bright highlights with Isaiah Williams and John Paddock and Casey Washington.
What I don't understand, maybe somebody can explain it to me. Why was Luke Altmaier talking about being named the starter last Tuesday? I don't get it. Brett Bielema told John Paddock last Sunday he was the starter for Iowa. Then what was all this?
It was a decoy for Iowa.
It must have been. but Luke played along. He's on today after 4 with the boys.
Yes.
I would ask him, I said, you were talking about, being so blessed and happy to be the starter.
That's right.
And John Paddock was the starter the whole time, and John Paddock's the starter for Saturday.
Why not have the Hawkeyes watch videotape of Luke all week?
I think it was a decoy. Clever, because I said, why would you tell Iowa who's starting? Well, he didn't.
That's what my people were saying off the air.
I think that was it. So anyway, there's that, and it was John Paddock threw some beautiful passes. He just got too many batted down, and Brett thinks that can be solved in practice, where you can do stuff to keep the lineman from jumping up like a volleyball player.
Right.
Man.
And thanks to Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing and First Federal Savings Bank Crossroads Contractor Supply, Brian Hansen, he knows his sports if you give him a call with State Farm Insurance. Carpenter's Local 243, the apprenticeship week last week for the trades. Awesome. And Max Twin City Recycling, all part of this conversation with The Drive. Lonte and Derek Piper after 4 today with Luke Altmaier.
Jay Lehman. Yeah, got here what Jay says. And again, it's just been the year in football. It's been, hey, oh, man, hey, oh, man.
Right.
That's what it's been.
And then we've got Northwestern with the seniors honored on Saturday at 2:30 at Memorial Stadium. So we'll want people to show up for that.
Who's favored in that?
I don't know.
Because
last year was 41-3 with the Illini on top. Of course, they were like 1-11 on the season.
They were
or something
really
crazy.
bad.
The Wildcats, and they had the controversy at the beginning of the year.
It's all the hazing,
and all that. So they've really come out champions.
It is a 2:30 kick, though. We know that.
We know that.
Okay.
And so we're looking at the line here.
Northwestern's playing crazy good. I would think we're favored by like 3, but we'll see.
As far as the...
Oh, my. We're favored by 5.5.
Oh, really?
Dang.
Okay.
All right. Well, we just got to win. We get on the... where would we go at 6? Anyway, let's just try and beat Northwestern. We'll decide if we get to march in line. I send to a bowl.
Absolutely.
See what happens.
The men's basketball team over Southern yesterday, 88-60. Terrence Shannon Jr. leading the team with a season-high 24 points. Next up Friday, Western Illinois. Josh from Muhammad, a winner of tickets here from Stevie Jay Broadcasting. So many tickets to hand out. And I might bring a pair to the turkey bowling at Pia's tomorrow after 7.
You actually get a frozen turkey?
A frozen turkey.
And you bowl with it. Because it's not going to roll right,
it's a tradition after 7. Starts at 7:45, but you got to get yourself signed up.
How long's the lane?
It's on the back patio there, from what I understand.
10 feet? I mean, because
I've never seen it, and I assume it's the...
What happens to the turkeys?
I don't think
they're beat up a little. No, you can use them.
I mean,
they're still wrapped. They're just wrap them.
Get the Cajun grind.
You don't take the plastic off, do you? They're frozen turkey.
I've never seen it.
All right, be interesting. Somebody take a video of that.
Notre Dame over Illinois' women's basketball team over the weekend. Notre Dame, I think, ranked 16 or something. 79-68 in D.C. Next up for them will be in action on Sunday. Our Illini women's volleyball team in Minnesota Friday after beating Michigan in straight sets on senior night at Huff Hall over the weekend. 16-12 on the season, 11-7 in the Big Ten. Parkland Cobras wrap up their season at 46-6. NBA action had Orlando over the Pacers 128-116. Buffalo beat the Blackhawks on ice, and St. Louis Blues over Anaheim. Tonight we'll have Philadelphia and Kansas City. Isn't that the Super Bowl matchup from last year?
Replay, and Kansas City won that one. This is in Kansas City, though.
Speaking of Super Bowl, I've had people talk about Usher's show in February for the Super Bowl.
But wouldn't it be more appropriate if you just put Taylor Swift in there now?
Oh, my goodness. I think 10 Grammys yesterday. But there was somebody who passed away at her concert at the age of 25.
It's like in Brazil or something. It's like so hot. She fainted.
Right.
He fainted. It was I don't know.
So she did a special song tribute, and that kind of shook her up.
Yeah.
We had Detroit over the Bears, though, 31-26, and Green Bay over the LA Chargers, 23-20.
Didn't get a chance to talk about Valparaiso in town Friday night. Roger Powell, first head coaching job, the Rev. Roger Powell in town Friday night, and he was on with Lonte and Derek Piper. And Lon asked, did you think about coaching college basketball?
Absolutely not. I wanted to be a pastor. And when I graduated college, that's what I was going to do. I was going to, go into the ministry and share my faith But, I was good, and I was able to make the NBA team, and, God gave me this ability to play basketball. But during the time when I was playing pro, I came back in the summers, and I trained kids, and I mentored kids, and I used just my experience to kind of encourage and challenge young athletes. And I fell in love with that part. And my wife is the one that said, "Do you ever think about coaching in college?" And I said, no, there's no way. I mean, but if a place like Valpo, because I knew Homer Drew, I knew the Drew family, and kind of what the Valpo motto was and how they built their program, I kind of felt like that's a place I could fit. I said, if a place like that opened up, I will go coach there.
Okay, well, he did. And then he took the job at Gonzaga, was there for 4 years with Mark Few. Mark Few did not want him to leave, but Valparaiso came open, and he went back. So on Saturday, Sam from the iHotel called me, and I went over and hung around with Roger Powell for like 45 minutes, an hour, and he's just as good a guy as you think he is. And he had his whole family there, 4 kids. Roger has 4 kids. I think 13, 9, 4, and 2. I mean, pretty young.
That's a fun chapter.
So they were filling up the iHotel, and Roger got the bill that went down to his knee. And that was a long bill. The whole family was there, man. Anyway, great talking to him. And he said, we're talking a little NIL, talking about, back in the day and all those things. And I said, boy, it sure changes. He said, but I want to reach him here. And he pointed to his heart. He said, I really want to have impact. He said, he's more interested in changing their lives and giving them a positive influence in their life than just using them as an asset. He didn't want them to come in and leave and just shuffle them like you do. But it's just at Valparaiso, I think you have more of that luxury. But if somebody gets really good at Valparaiso, they obviously could leave. I think you're looking at all the smaller D1 schools looking to go higher because A, exposure, B, money. And so in this game of the bigger schools have more NIL, the ones that develop, it's going to be kind of a minor league system, which isn't fair for the ISUs and Easterns and Valparaisos and things like that. But Roger Powell is a unbelievably high character man, and just great to catch up with him and see him. And just remember 05, and I told him, I thought you did press conferences great. He was, happy to be back, but disappointed they lost. Yep. And I said, you just pounded me in the first half. I mean, they were up 7 points. Valparaiso beating us at 7, 45-38 at halftime. Yeah. And Terrence Shannon goes in the locker room and said, I got 19. This kid Stafford had 23 points on me in the first half. So Terrence shut him down. He scored 4 points. Roger said, I got 6 freshmen, two sophomores. I have 1 junior. That was Stafford. Everybody else is so young. He said, I knew they were going to make a run, and we just didn't have the experience to withstand it. But he was very disappointed they lost and felt like he had a shot here at halftime. Yeah. But Valpo played great, and Roger Powell is not far away.
And great to have that reflection from Roger when they visited with him back in March on Lante and Derek Piper's show, and to replay that. Just great insight. What a terrific guy.
He's a great man, and I'm hoping like heck the geniuses at Valparaiso, being a little facetious, they joined the Missouri Valley. They were in the Horizon League. That was way better. Missouri Valley's ISU and Indiana State. There's some really talented teams in the Missouri Valley. So Valparaiso, I think if Roger gets to 10 wins this year, 12 wins, that'll be a real feat. Rooting for Roger Powell all the way. Check your weather with meteorologist Greg Solier. Brought to you by Busey for over 150 years. Member FDIC. Check Greg's weather and what we look like here this week.
Good. Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, and Van Ness vicinity as expected. In this Thanksgiving week, we'll lead it off with a widespread rain system making its way out of the plains. Few drops are expected this morning. More widespread activity this afternoon. For a time tomorrow, we'll move into some chilly weather the middle part of the weekend, and an even colder air mass that builds on in over the course of the weekend. That too may be preceded by a weak weather system. For the day-to-day, cloudy, breezy, turning cooler up to about 50. Temperatures will slide back into the 40s as rain moves in during the course of the day-to-day. Best coverage is this afternoon, as well as tonight with periods of rain. Overnight lows right around 45 and a gusty easterly wind. For the day tomorrow, some rain in the morning, cloudy, windy, turning cooler cooler, highs to about 46, and then falling temperatures in the afternoon. Down to 28 tomorrow night, partly cloudy, windy, cold, 44 on Wednesday, 46, and some sunshine for Thanksgiving Day Thursday. We'll cloud things up on Friday, maybe a couple of snow, rain showers on Saturday. Weekend high temperatures near 40. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting at Beetlejuice, Greg Solgay.
Kick off the holiday season in the heart of downtown Champaign for the 23rd Annual Parade of Lights, sponsored by Christie Clinic on Saturday, November 25th. This year's theme is classic holiday movies. Make it a night to remember for the whole family with pre-parade activities starting at 1 p.m. like horse and carriage rides, photos with Santa, and more. You'll be dazzled by a parade of 60-plus floats starting at 6 p.m. The Parade of Lights is powered by Christie Clinic, Tapman's Towing, Central Illinois Roofing, and the City of Champaign. For details, visit ChampaignCenter.com.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Woo! Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. I did not mention Tommy DeVito. Wow.
Yes, 3 touchdowns?
Yeah. No, Tommy DeVito, our quarterback last year, who the Giants put in there with holding in their nose as a third-string kid living at home 15 minutes from Giant Stadium in Jersey.
Because he's from Jersey.
He's your Jersey guy.
That's right.
I would be living at home from 15 minutes. I had my mom and dad. Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. My mom's cooking.
Absolutely.
My dad growing up.
Smart. It's great.
Exactly.
I just like Saquon Barkley's reaction. He said, you know, Tommy lives at home? And Saquon looked at the reporter and said, huh? So it's Tommy DeVito Day in New Jersey.
Excellent.
The Giants, who were just awful, didn't look so awful yesterday. And our quarterback from Illinois, they'll say Syracuse because it's out there, but great year for us.
That's right.
Tommy DeVito starring for the New York Giants yesterday, which was nice to see.
Awesome.
All right, we got the news here coming up. We'll come back in our 8 o'clock hour with lots to tell you about. We have some AI we'll discuss and how that's going to impact the medical world. It's just so different than when we were dialing up on AOL in 1998. But the evolution of artificial intelligence, AI, and what that's going to mean to the medical community.
It can be a great tool. It's just that it's assessing everything that's out there, and sometimes it's not true.
Well, you just want to make sure humans have hands on it.
Agreed.
All right, we'll talk about that next. ESPN 93.5.
Short-term market fluctuations can be unnerving for everyone. A proven way to tune out the noise and focus on long-term investment goals is to adhere to a well-constructed investment plan. This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. If you don't have a plan, we can help create one designed specifically for you. Call us today for a complimentary consultation at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Mark your calendars for the annual Turkey Trot Thanksgiving morning at Crystal Lake Park in Urbana. It's totally free, and the first 800 participants will get a ribbon. Registration at 8 a.m. The Turkey Trot steps off at 9 a.m. Gather near the lake house at Crystal Lake Park in Urbana for prizes to follow. It's a great way to start Thanksgiving. For details on the annual Turkey Trot, visit urbanaparks.org. Urbana Park District, you belong here.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
It's a big week to travel. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. AAA estimates more than 55 million Americans will go at least 50 miles for Thanksgiving, an over 2% increase from last year, most by car, paying 37 cents a gallon less for gas. For those flying,
17 million people have signed up for TSA PreCheck, which is a brand new record.
Fox's Dana Marie McNichol at Atlanta's airport.
You could, though, be beating the rush today because the busiest day to fly is Tuesday and Wednesday and the Sunday after Thanksgiving.
TSA predicts there could be 2.9 million passengers that Sunday. Later this hour, we'll hear from Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg about holiday travel. President Biden will carry on a Thanksgiving tradition today, pardoning 2 turkeys, as a new NBC poll says the latest survey showing him trailing former President Trump head-to-head by 2 points.
Biden's job approval among independents down at just 30%. We know that in a variety of polls, roughly 3/4 of voters have cited President Biden's age as a problem for them. Today is his 81st birthday.
Fox's Peter Ducey at the White House. An appeals court will hear arguments today in one of the 4 Trump criminal cases. The federal one related to the 2020 election. The special counsel is trying to get a gag order reinstated to bar the former president's comments about lawyers and witnesses. Israel keeps going after Hamas in Gaza, but Mark Regev, a senior advisor to the prime minister, tells Fox the probability of a deal to release some hostages has gone up.
Hamas, as we hit them hard, needs that time out. It'll only be a temporary ceasefire.
Regev also says they have more evidence Hamas used the besieged Al-Shifa hospital as a command center, that hostages were taken there October 7th after the terror attack. And
we've got pictures of the tunnels. We've got picture of this shaft going down underground, deep underground, and leading to the network of tunnels that Hamas has there.
America's listening to Fox News.
Don't miss Provember at Lowe's. Save $80 on a DeWalt combo kit and save $20 on a 5-gallon pail of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams all-purpose power primer. Plus, MVP's members earn 3 times the bonus points on DeWalt and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams products. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Bonus points calculated before tax and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22, subject to change.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
The Carters were an incredible family. That's what President Biden says after First Lady Rosalind Carter died at age 96. First Lady Jill Biden said while meeting with U.S. troops in Norfolk, Virginia.
She was well known for her efforts on mental health and caregiving and women's rights. So I hope that during the holidays, you'll consider saying include the Carter family in your prayers.
Fox's Steve Harrigan is in Atlanta.
She was not a conventional first lady. She had an office in the East Wing of full-time staff. She sat in on cabinet meetings, advised her husband. She wanted to get the mentally ill the treatment that they deserved, and also to remove the stigma from mental illness. Here at the Carter Center, she and Jimmy Carter went around the world trying to monitor democratic elections in different countries and also to eradicate several tropical illnesses.
Former President Carter, who's 99 and also in hospice care, was by her side at their home in Plains, Georgia. Argentina has elected a new president.
A far-right libertarian and first-term congressman is the winner of Argentina's presidential election. Javier Milei, who'll be the world's first libertarian head of state, pulled in 56% of the vote, defeating center-left candidate, economy minister Sergio Massa with 44%. The self-described anarcho-capitalist capitalist, whose rhetoric's drawn comparisons to former U.S. President Donald Trump, will face a tough task when he takes office December 10th, wrestling with Argentina's economic crisis, inflation at 143%, a sharp peso devaluation, and 4 in 10 Argentines living in poverty. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
Pop star Shakira has avoided jail time in Spain on the first day of a tax fraud trial. Shakira worked out a plea deal, getting a suspended 3-year sentence, and she'll pay a fine. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed before the opening bell this hour. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Teenager facing anywhere from a few years to life in prison after he was accused of shooting a man last Thursday in a mobile home park. 19-year-old Eric Estrada was in court Friday where he was arraigned on attempted murder charges and charges for other offenses. Prosecutors said an argument happened between Estrada and the victim earlier in the day at a Champaign Central High School. Champaign County Salvation Army kicked off their annual Red Kettle campaign last week, raising funds for vital social programming in the community. This season's funding goal, $470,000. The proceeds will go to feed the hungry, provide aid to the homeless shelter, and to local veterans, providing Christmas gift to families that are struggling. Illinois' unemployment rate is up. The Department of Employment Security says the state's jobless rate increased by 0.2% last month to 4.6%. Non-farm payroll jobs decreased by 15,000 in the month of October. And a reminder, at least 50 million folks traveling this week by Thanksgiving Thursday. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim Miller. ESPN 93.5 Weather with Greg Soya, brought to you by Watts Copy Systems, where service is more than a promise. Get a free assessment from Greg Wolf. Call Watts Copy Systems today.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity this Thanksgiving week. No major storm systems in sight. It'll be a bit chillier than average, and primarily any features that do come on by first part of the week will be rain, although over the course of the weekend, perhaps a few snowflakes may be mixed in as we transition back into even colder weather by early next week. Up near 50 for a time today, then falling temperatures as rains move in during the course of the morning, more so this afternoon. Gusty east wind, widespread rains for tonight and tomorrow morning. Lows tonight down around 45, nearly steady temperatures holding around 46 degrees tomorrow with a gusty northerly wind. We'll bottom out at 28 for tomorrow night. Wednesday, partly cloudy, windy, cold, dry weather across the Midwest at large. High temperatures up near 44, maybe a few lake effect showers of snow and rain through Michigan, by the way. Thanksgiving Day here, sunshine, breezy, chilly at 46. We're in the low 40s for Friday into the weekend. Maybe a little rain, snow shower activity due in on Saturday as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchus, Greg Soldier.
Ready for some much-needed pampering and girl time? We've got just the place. Call to schedule your very own private girls' night out at Merle Norman Cosmetic Studio. We're talking express facials, makeovers, and personalized beauty tips. Our masters of makeup will give you and your friends a chance to find the right foundation, learn what works for your skin, and rock some hot new looks. Call and book now at 217-359-8100 at Merle Norman. Find us on social media at Merle Norman Cosmetics, Champaign.
He is the Chief Growth Officer with Sniffle, the world's first AI, artificial intelligence-driven virtual care ecosystem. Chris Matthew, what the heck? Tell me what you're doing, man. Explain it to the layman here.
Yeah, good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Sniffle is trying to use AI and advanced tech to come alongside physicians and help physicians take back healthcare. We got to help physicians get their patients out of retail places for their medicine. You know, guys, I love Costco. Think it's amazing. But that's not necessarily where I should go get my health care. That's bad for doctors. That's bad for patients.
Who's going to Costco to get their health care?
I mean, you're saving money.
Lots of people.
Yeah.
Lots of people.
What, I mean, there's a doctor at Costco?
Well, not in Costco. Costco has struck a deal with a virtual care group that'll do virtual, telehealth visits. Whether it's Costco or Walmart or, lots of different retail places. Telemedicine is random doctors seeing random patients, and our stance at Sniffle is that is not good for healthcare, that's not good for doctors, and it's not good for patients long-term either.
Okay, so how do you incorporate AI, making sure that we get it right, but yet assisting in all the stuff the doctors don't need to do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great question. So AI, advanced tech, what it allows is, with these large machine learning language models, is lots of data to be entered and factored in. So we have a marketplace model. We have 2 apps out there. One is Sniffle for Patients. And the Sniffle for Patients app, you can get a full assessment of what's going on with your healthcare journey from our tool called an iAgnosis. It's an AI-derived diagnosis. It's built upon 14 million patient encounters that have been loaded into our machine learning language protocol. And once you put in your symptoms and you go through that medical interview, the returning set of differentials, or the assessment, is going to have a 95% accuracy rating, which is incredibly powerful for patients to know. This isn't WebMD or a Dr. Google search. This is medically curated AI to help people know what's going on in their healthcare journey and then link them back to their doctor. Not just a doctor, but their doctor for that ongoing continuity of care and the relationship of medicine.
It cuts out the kind of the grueling interview and all the things you fill out at the doctor's office. But if I give you my medical interview, these days I'm saying, China, my information, all of that.
Yeah, well, with Sniffle, everything is HIPAA compliant. We are SOC certified. All that means everything is buttoned up. Your security, your medical information is tight. It's monitored. It's privileged. It's only for you and your physicians that you authorize access to.
Well, I think we also have I have plenty of medical care, thankfully, from the standpoint of need. If I have it, I know what I'm doing. But I've got, Dr. Mantell here in Philo. This is a small office where face-to-face with. That's not happening very often anymore.
Right.
The rural doctor thing is great, but I know that's not going to happen in Chicago. It's not going to happen in New York or L.A. or that kind of thing. You're just in a system that's huge. You're hoping that you can go to here, and then based on the information you put in, it goes to somebody that probably needs a little more help or a little attention, and the doctor will get briefed based on what you offer.
That's correct. So the doctor will have visibility into your assessment in real time. But again, whether you're in downtown Chicago or in Champaign, the biggest markets to the most rural of places, everyone in this country deserves health access and the ability to be able to be healthy. This advanced tech and AI is just being able to try to play a small role in helping people understand what's happening with them and then connect them back to their doctors.
So what's the process? I go to Sniffle, I go to you on the app, and then how am I charged for that?
Yeah, great question. Sniffle for Patients is the app that you download. This is going to, we always get lots of questions, and I'll tell you guys, we were created with physicians from the beginning, so our early investments all came from docs. So this has been created by the medical community and helping shape this. You can't buy our software. You can download it, you can use it, you can share it. There is no payment that you owe to use and have assessment. When you download the app, you can get visibility into your symptoms with our iAgnosis. Along with that, you can use the Sniffle RX discount card. It's 4 times more powerful than GoodRx. It'll save you up to 85% on prescription. Both of those are our contribution to the medical community. When you want to see your doctor, if you're using insurance, depending on your insurance, you may have a copay. But you're not paying Sniffle that copay. You're paying your doctor.
How you making money? I don't get it. I don't get the model.
The model is we give you a remarkable value in the app so that you'll keep the app. Right? If you download an app and it doesn't give you remarkable value, you're going to delete that thing in 5 days or less.
Yep.
I give you these tools, you'll keep the app. Then I can send you messaging about Sniffle benefits, which is an access to dental, vision, behavioral health, and lots more benefits that are not medical insurance. It's all the other stuff other than medical insurance. That costs a member $15 a month, and it covers that member and their entire family for $15 a month.
So we build trust, and then there's other opportunities for you guys to cash in a little bit. Correct. But still, it sounds. Who owns it? TikTok? Come on, tell me. Does TikTok own this? Come on, tell me. Come on, Chris.
No.
China!
TikTok has got nothing to do here.
China's got it.
No.
Information. This is quite.
I'm sorry, we're so paranoid about that stuff.
It's kind of where we are.
I get it. There's lots of messaging out there that's not necessarily clear. Here's what I can tell you is very clear. This has been created with physicians from the start. It's to help physicians take back control of healthcare so that they can guide their patients to live healthier lives, better care, and bigger picture. That's what we're doing. And I encourage you to download Sniffle for Patients, see firsthand. You tell us what our intention is. Once you see
really
it,
interesting.
you'll know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to have a doctor shortage. This could help alleviate some of that by getting all the preliminary stuff done.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so part of that shortage comes from, guys, talk to the doctors that you know in your lives, the doctor you just mentioned, and ask that physician how much administrative work has been built into their medical practice.
Everything. It's all,
it is
paperwork
just draining the
out of
medical
hand.
community.
Out of hand.
Right? And so the ability to return joy back to a physician so that he and she can do what they really set out to do from the start, provide great patient care, that is something that Sniffle can do and is coming alongside the medical community. We're trying to find a way to bring joy back to medicine, and we think we've got a good path.
Chris Matthew, Sniffle, SNIFFLE for patients. It's a downloadable app, and people can, I'm not sure I can blow any holes in this at this point. So, dang, it's creative. I love that.
Well, find one and call me and let me know, and I'll fix it.
Awesome. Chris, nice meeting you, and good job. I love innovation. This is awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Chris Matthews, his name, ESPN 93.5, Sniffle for patients. Interesting.
Yeah.
So you'll go through the preliminary stuff that's going to take a lot of time at the doctor's office, and then they must be in contact with your doctor, although you have to fill that out. Who's your doctor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what's their contact? It'd probably be I would think, fairly comprehensive questionnaire. Have to be. But anyway, I don't know what's wrong with that.
Sounds good.
ESPN 93.5 Sports Headlines.
Illinois winning yesterday over Southern, and next up will be Western Illinois. I know we have Josh and Muhammad who won some tickets by texting in Illini to 359-2255, our Tapman's Towing phone line. That game at 8 o'clock on Friday. And then the 2:30 kickoff when we face Northwestern at Memorial Stadium on Saturday. Of course, Illinois football lost to Iowa 15-13. It was just such a suspenseful game. I thought we had it with a kick once we got down there, but
we didn't get down there. I would have liked to have a swing at it, right? You want a chance. Right. We just could not get that 3rd and 4th and 2.
Right. So we also had our Illinois women's basketball team in action. Notre Dame won 79-68 in D.C. over the weekend. So they'll be in action coming up on Sunday. And our Illinois women's volleyball team took down Michigan in straight sets. Next up for them will be Friday in Minnesota, as a lot of these seasons are wrapping up, as did the Parkland Cobras. Their volleyball team wrapped up at 46-6. NBA action, Orlando over the Pacers, 128-116. We had NFL action with Green Bay over the Chargers, 23-20. And we had the Detroit Lions taking down the Chicago Bears, 31-26. Saw a lot of chatter on social media about the Bears, but that's pretty typical. I don't know what happened.
The Bears were up 26-14 in the fourth quarter.
Oh, that
was a problem. Yeah, it was 26-14.
Okay.
Bears looked like they were going to get that thing, and it just didn't happen.
And Justin Fields then as the quarterback.
I think they played pretty well to the fourth quarter.
And Philadelphia and Kansas City tonight at 7:15.
All right, folks, before you get married, Busey suggests that you talk money, you talk finances, because it's important to know where everybody is on the whole spectrum. I mean, how much credit card debt you have? What's your rate? I mean, share it. And you got to decide, are you doing my account, your account, our account, those things. Even if you've been married a while and you still want to get back on track or get on track, Busey Wealth Management can sit and talk with you, no cost or obligation. Then you have peace of mind knowing, here's our plan, here's what we're going to do. We'll talk about that. Inevitably, that'll be better for everything. It's all about planning. If you're just starting out or you are celebrating maybe a milestone anniversary, Busey can provide an array of solutions tailored to your specific needs. Keep and manage all of your accounts in one place, all 5 lines of business: personal, mortgage, business, cash management, wealth management. Just go to Busey.com, stop by one of their many convenient locations today, and then get peace of mind knowing, hey, we've covered this, we've talked about it, it's all good. Busey for over 150 years. Member FDIC.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity as expected. And this Thanksgiving week, we'll lead it off with a widespread rain system making its way out of the plains. few drops are expected this morning. More widespread activity this afternoon. For a time tomorrow, we'll move into some chilly weather the middle part of the weekend, and an even colder air mass that builds on in over the course of the weekend. That too may be preceded by a weak weather system. For the day today, cloudy, breezy, turning cooler up to about 50. Temperatures will slide back into the 40s as rain moves in during the course of the day today. Best coverage is this afternoon, as well as tonight, with periods of rain overnight lows right around 45 and a gusty easterly wind. For the day tomorrow, some rain in the morning, cloudy, windy, turning cooler, highs to about 46, and then falling temperatures in the afternoon. Down to 20 tomorrow night, partly cloudy, windy, cold, 44 on Wednesday, 46, and some sunshine for Thanksgiving Day Thursday. We'll cloud things up on Friday, maybe a couple of snow, rain showers on Saturday. Weekend high temperatures near 40. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting at Beetlejuice, Greg Solgay.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Wall Street is looking at a shortened trading week. The markets will be closed for Thanksgiving, and Friday will be a short session. Microsoft shares are higher after the company hired artificial intelligence developer Sam Altman to lead its new research team. Altman was forced out of OpenAI last week. OpenAI's president Greg Brockman resigned after Altman was removed, and now Brockman is also heading to Microsoft. Boeing shares are higher. Analysts at Deutsche Bank are recommending investors buy the stock. General Motors shares are higher. Kyle Vogt, the CEO of its Cruise self-driving business, has resigned. A Cruise accident in early October resulted in suspension of the company's self-driving license in California. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey there, it's me, Kennedy. Make sure to check out my podcast, Kennedy Saves the World. It is 5 days a week. Every week, we check in with Jimmy Fallon, bring in authors for the book club, and even treat some of your favorite Fox personalities to a very special happy hour. Download and listen at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.
Kennedy Saves the World. America's listening to Fox News.
Fighting Illini football is back at Memorial Stadium for the final home game of the season on Saturday, November 25th, as they take on Northwestern in the battle for the Land of Lincoln Trophy. Bring the whole family to enjoy our family fun zone in Grange Grove with bounce houses, food trucks, balloon artists, and tailgating. See you at Memorial Stadium for Fighting Illini football's final home game against Northwestern on Saturday, November 25th. Get $15 tickets at fightingillini.com.
So it's Illinois Northwestern, and it's kind of a fan alert because, hey, I know it's Thanksgiving Day weekend. The Fighting Illini football team has been, talk about your peaks and valleys, man, just been all over the board. So it's going to be cold, but you own a winter coat, so we can get out there and support our team. And you win, you go. This is huge. It is huge from the standpoint of continuity and getting to a bowl every year, which is the immediate goal. And remember what Stevie Jay said in August, I just want 6. I just want 6. Everybody's saying 8, 10. I said 6. Give me 6. Because it's 15 practices, and you develop so much in that time. And just we go to a bowl 2 years in a row, we just have not been able to do that. Right. Can anybody explain to me why? Over the course of the last 30 years, we can't do it. Just can't go here. Ron Zook went to 2 in a row, and they fired him. So there's that. Anyway, we'll see, but it's definitely a low fan turnout alert, and you just the low fan turnout alert
because of Thanksgiving.
Well, Thanksgiving weekend is never really good.
U of I students are on a fall break.
They're gone. The student section's gone. It's 32 degrees for the high.
Right.
And I understand.
The fair weather fan said rather watch it at home.
Blah 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 blah. I mean, for this game in the last 10 years, we show sales of 30,000 seats.
Yes,
but 11 come. We've had a low of 11 turnstile. And this team, and we're talking about a lot of members the last 2 years. And listen, we're 5-6. We were 8-5 last year. This is good. This is the building blocks of better. I don't know how we're going to play at Oregon next year. That's a million years away, okay? I don't care.
That's right.
It's just, yeah. It's year 2, is it? Year 3. Year 3 for Brett Bielema. And 5-7, 8-5, and we're 5-6. I mean, it's not where anybody wants to be, but it's better than it was. So we're just baby steps here. And hopefully next year we'll have Luke Altmaier back. He'll be the man next year. And I thought, again, he played incredibly well since Penn State. Luke Altmaier's the backup. He's going to back up John Paddock, who'll start against Northwestern Saturday. So we got to get our Daubers up. I know everyone's just pessimistic, but it's been a really unique year from the standpoint. We're not beating Toledo until the fourth down kind of Hail Mary in midfield. Casey Washington comes down with a ball that's in the night sky. If it's incomplete, we lose. We lose to Toledo. By the way, I think Toledo has lost one game to Illinois. Otherwise, they'd be looking at undefeated all year. So it's a process, guys. It's hard. It's disappointing. It's like, I mean, but how'd you feel after Maryland? How'd you feel after Minnesota?
Yeah.
I mean,
these have all been clutch.
How'd you feel after
last
Indiana?
couple of minutes
They're all the
type
same
games.
because everybody is the same.
Right.
Iowa's slightly better because of that defense. They have a very, very good defense, and yet, the touchdown that Reggie Love scored in the second quarter, that was only the second rushing touchdown Iowa has allowed all year.
Love has notched a team-high 64 rushing yards on 18 carries and registered his 4th touchdown of the season coming in that second quarter.
So Caden Fagan's out, is having surgery this week, I think.
I see.
Somewhere, arm, shoulder, whatever that is. But anyway, again, highs and lows, peaks and valleys,
Right.
not much middle ground there. It's either been exuberance or real disappointment. Wisconsin was really disappointing.
And we had 4 sacks. Seth Coleman and Kenna Ogadaga and
winning the
Dylan
whole game.
Rossiak.
We're winning the whole game, and we just it's just. But I think in these one score game kind of things, we're 5-2, so we've been the beneficiary more than not. But it just wanted to get Iowa and really hold hope alive for all kinds of things that would have had to happen. Only like 3 for us to win the Big Ten West. Do you want to go play Michigan or Ohio State? Good luck, Iowa. Iowa's not going to score any points in that game. There's no way that Michigan or Ohio State's going to allow Iowa to score.
Also, looking in Isaiah Williams, his 10th 100-yard-plus performance of the year with 8 catches and a team-high 105 yards.
Anyway, low fan turnout alert. It's definitely in play here because of everything.
Right.
And it doesn't help that, all the students are gone. Everybody's off on break. But it is a really, really critical football game from the standpoint of program growth because you just got to go to a bowl. I mean, negative recruiting happens all the time. Those teams, they're so inconsistent. They never can go to an next. All that stuff really would help. I don't care if it's Detroit. It's extended play. You get 15 practices. That's huge. We play till January. And then you got spring ball in March.
Yep.
So it's a big one. And I know Brett was pretty disappointed, really, really down at the press conference after the game. We lost a really rough game. We had the ball game till 4 minutes left. And then you had hope on that last drive, and 2 balls in a row get batted down. The guy was wide open on 4th down and bumped up, batted down. So, yeah, pretty frustrating.
Well, and when you think of Northwestern, you might think of the game like last year where we won 41-3. Northwestern, used to be kind of the patsy, the bad guy, or the bad team that we can definitely get a win against.
Not right now.
Not in this season.
How many have they won in a row? 4? I mean, they're playing their best probably in years. So, yeah, they're going to play a real tight game. We're going to have to play better. Brett Bielema said we're going to have to have the best week of practice. He knows what he's up against. He's up against a really hot team that thinks they can beat anybody.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have a little fan support, so it would help if we got the big coat out and went to the ball game and cheered for the Illini and thanked Johnny Newton for his great career. Very unusual, maybe the best defensive lineman we've ever had. I mean, he's going to be in the NFL.
Boy, when I look at our history against Northwestern that dates back to 1892, we've got 57 wins and 54 losses.
Really?
Against this
Is that
team.
even? I thought we were way ahead on that. Man. All right, we'll take this break, come right back, final half hour of the program. You can always text us at 217-359-2255 on the Tapman's Towing phone line. Text in if you'd like. You might want to text in right now based on our Stever offer. We are offering, ladies and gentlemen, $500 off at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World when you spend $1,000. Well, if you need anything, you're going to spend over $1,000. That's just the life in the appliance world. Prices are up, but you will not get this anywhere else except the Stever program here on ESPN 93.5 and the Stevie Jay broadcasting stations. So you must text me DVD if you're interested in this. DVD or Dick Van Dyke, whatever is easier. You would get
$500 off an appliance, whether it's laundry or refrigeration or a stove or oven, or what are you in need of, and maybe desperately in need because you might be hosting Thanksgiving and you've got to get this going. We're looking for you. DVD 359-2255.
So if you want $500 off something from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World DVD, or it is up at ghoststever.com. You can enter that way when you get out of your car.
That's easy.
All right, we're breaking. Coming back in just a few moments. Don't forget your pies at Curtis Orchard either.
Ooh.
Don't forget that.
Good idea.
That's a solid advice. All right, back in a minute.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. It's the start of a big travel week. A lot of people are driving or flying somewhere for Thanksgiving.
TSA is expecting to screen a record-breaking 30 million passengers. Another headache could be on the horizon, as a cross-country storm is going to provide an extra layer of challenge for travelers from the Midwest to the Northeast, bringing severe weather to the Gulf Coast. Now, it moves east just in time to make things soggy for drivers hitting the road on Wednesday, but things should brighten up by Thanksgiving Day.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff. 9 days after a fire shut it down, an elevated freeway in Los Angeles, Interstate 10, is reopened in time for this morning's rush hour. It's expected to take weeks.
It wasn't just speed that we were after. We wanted to make sure this thing was safe.
California Governor Gavin Newsom, the closure affected tens of thousands of commuters. The I-10 runs east-west through downtown LA and connects with other major roads. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois is investing an additional $160 million to address the migrant crisis in Chicago. Funding is going to be used to help set up an intake center, a winterized tent shelter site, and other assistance designed to help resettle immigrants stranded at public police stations, airports, and other locations. State's already spent $500 million in response to the issues. Illinois State Police celebrating the promotion of Rebecca Hooks from Lieutenant Colonel to First Deputy Director. First Deputy Director Hooks, the first female to achieve the position with ISP since its inception back in 1922. She's the second in command to Director Brandon Kelly. Hooks has served with ISP for more than 21 years. Ameren, Illinois rate hike request being cut in half. Illinois Commerce Commission disallowed more than $36 million to the utilities rate request for its natural gas delivery services in Illinois. The decision nearly 51% lower than Ameren's initial request for a more than $71 million increase. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana vicinity this Thanksgiving week. No major storm systems in sight. It'll be a little bit chillier than average, and primarily any features that do come on by first part of the week will be rain, although over the course of the weekend, perhaps a few snowflakes may be mixed in as we transition back into even colder weather by early next week. Up near 50 for a time today, then falling temperatures as rains move in during the course of the morning, more so this afternoon. Gusty east wind, widespread rains for tonight and tomorrow morning. Lows tonight down around 45, nearly steady temperatures holding around 46 degrees tomorrow with a gusty northerly wind. We'll bottom out at 28 for tomorrow night. Wednesday, partly cloudy, windy, cold, dry weather across the Midwest at large. High temperatures up near 44, maybe a few lake effect showers of snow and rain through Michigan, by the way. Thanksgiving Day here, sunshine, breezy, chilly at 46. We're in the low 40s for Friday into the weekend. Maybe a little rain, snow shower activity due in on Saturday as well. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchus, Greg Soldier.
All right, ESPN 93.5. Diane went through the daughter getting married in June, and we're getting ready for Grace's wedding a week from Saturday, which is intimidating.
Game face on right now.
Oh, boy.
Just everything's coming at you.
Yep.
And my sister, of course, my siblings have all adult kids. I'm the baby in the family. So they said, you'll be $1,000 and just miscellaneous spending in the last month. I kind of had, geared up for everything that was coming at me because of all the advice I was getting from people.
A lot of advice. It's good. They care for you.
Right.
They're just trying to help, and that's all good. But there's just so many things, and Janet is the most organized person I've ever met.
Different systems for different categories.
She's very organized, and that's amazing because I'm not near as organized as she is. So just a lot, and everybody who's gone through this knows that. And obviously, if the parents of the bride, you're doing more generally than parents of the groom. Now, there's a lot of sharing going on with the groom and things like that for weddings now, but generally the bride's family is responsible for most of the wedding, and the groom's parents in charge of the rehearsal dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just a lot of organizations. Fortunately, thank you God, I have Janet because the things she's got in her head right now, the list of things that need to be done to make everything exactly how we want it to look. And then you got your musicians and you got all the food and all the catering, all the things you're doing. It is a lot.
Well, right now in this zone, I was all about the timeline and how to execute without being stressed out. When it comes to the guests and then getting to the reception and then, knowing the cocktail hour and, are you doing an entrance with the wedding party and then the toast.
The logistics.
The logistics.
Yeah.
And, that's the DJ frame of mind I have also.
Right.
And of course, I have a firm grip after doing DJing 30 years on I want the timeline and the whole thing.
Yep.
This is like the pinnacle. This is like my almost retirement game kind of thing in my mind. So I wanted everything to be perfect. And there were so many people coming at me saying, let the DJ go. So I had your son Benjamin as a plan B, but I did want to be an intricate part of that reception stuff and the music and everything. There's just so many great moments. That daddy-daughter dance, have you navigated that?
I think so, but again, I'm kind of out of the loop on the finer points of that, but we're certainly going to have that. I think the song's picked out. I don't know if that's done, I think. But I actually called Michelle's to make sure that we had a tux for me because I didn't do that. And I haven't gone in because I get a tux there a couple times a year.
Right.
So they have
but still, now that you're CrossFit.
Well, I measured in June for that.
Okay.
And I think I'm kind of the same from June, but Grace had her wedding dress fitting and everything else. And there's just a lot of things. It's a great, and I know it's going to go really fast and all that, and we're going to be pretty tired, but that's normal. But it's just exciting, and this is our only daughter, so we're pretty fired up. And if you've experienced that, you understand.
And what helped me is knowing the average wedding when I did an online search is $28,000 these days, and just knowing that number is that large these days.
Yeah,
and that's everybody around the nation is taking a hit of that much to do a wedding. Of course, you can do things yourself, and in today's Pinteresty world. But it's just navigating that. If you do decide to take that on, it's another stress, and you are saving money.
And there's just a lot of people that can help with that.
Sure.
Inspire yours.
That's right.
She's
Amanda
awesome.
Jean as the wedding planner. Just take it all off your plate, give it to her, and yes, you'll be paying her. But
it's not that much, though.
It's
you look
not
at the
too
prices,
bad.
not at all.
Right.
Based on wedding prices. I mean, the different things that you're charged for at these wedding venues, it's like that's $2,500 too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
And then that's $2,500.
Yes.
I mean, just like
what? Oh yeah. If you get the uplight,
if you want to get into a business and you want to do it right, and you can borrow a couple $1 million to set it up, you make bank.
I know that.
I mean, the gross on a very average run wedding venue, the gross is going to be $1 million, $2 million a year. And you got all the people and all. Yeah, I understand.
That's right.
But the margin, I would think the margin of profit on something like that is got to be in that 40 to 50%, would be my guess.
Right.
But I don't know. I just know that stuff you're going for that little floofy thing is $1,000.
I know.
I mean, it's really.
But it's so pretty. That little floofy thing can really be an accent you're looking for.
We're
all the details.
We're here, and I'm helping Janet as much as possible because I'm limited in my skills. But I'm certainly working with her, and Janet learned how to do calligraphy. And all the things she's done with that, she's a beautiful calligrapher.
Oh my goodness, down to the invitations and the save the dates and everything you guys have done.
Well, now nameplates.
Over the top.
Nameplates on the...
It's very impressive.
A lot of nameplates there she's working on. Anyway. All right, 8:39, Dick Van Dyke Appliance
All the
World.
best, by the way,
Thank you.
to Jacob
very
and Grace.
Yeah. We were talking... Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, $500 when you spend $1,000. Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, 217-359-2255. And if you're buying something for $2,500, you'd pay $2,000. And if you need it, you'll take that, right? I mean, so text in DVD. A lot of you are interested in that, so it must be something breaking here today. I understand that.
Exactly.
So 217-359-2255. 217-359-2255. We'd mentioned a week ago, Jacob, fiance, future son-in-law of mine, had made the Reds 40-man roster. Very difficult to understand what that means. It's like, he's on the team, but only 26 get to go to the major leagues. So
and will he spring train
Yeah,
then?
he'll be with the big club spring training. He would be invited to Reds. They have a huge festival like the Cardinals do in the weekend in St. Louis.
Okay.
Cardinals do a big deal with all the players.
And so do the Cubs.
And everybody does.
Yeah.
So they had a huge thing for the Cincinnati Reds, which happens to be on the wedding day. So he won't be attending that. And David Bell, the manager that called Jacob to congratulate him, he's in the circle, giving him opportunity to go back and forth to the big leagues based on injuries and things. There's no contract deal with the AAA team. You're part of the club. You can be released anytime. And just to illustrate the difficulty of you're thinking Bryce Harper and, all the big star players, Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt, just like 0.01% ever get that deal.
Right.
The 63 big league guys that have been around, put in their time, they were released on Saturday. The Cardinals let go Dakota Hudson. He's non-tendered. That means
wow.
He's gone.
Okay.
Andrew Kisner, our friend, is released.
How about Mason Wynn?
Mason is their future.
He was a new up-and-comer.
He's going to be there.
And just inside 21 when he was on our Cardinal Caravan last year.
Yeah, no, he was here last year. We have a Cardinal Caravan January 12th, if you want to mark that down. But also gone is Juan Yepez. Juan Yepez was he hung around Albert Pujols for a year and was hitting home runs. He's done.
Okay.
Cardinals non-tender means after a certain amount of time, you don't offer them the money, then you got to let them go. So Andrew Kisner, who was at a Cardinal Caravan with us, Juan Yepez, Dakota Hudson, and Jake Woodford was at Cardinal Caravan last year. We met him, and he's gone. Cardinals released 4 named people, but these are guys that are now going to be looking for a job. They hope to catch anything on any team so they can make that kind of money. And just making a team at that level with those guys, probably $2-3 million a year. Nobody turned that down here, would we? It sounds like a lot. But it just illustrates how difficult it is not only to go through the process and get at any level and anything organized in sport, but to stay there.
Yeah.
I remember D.A. Points, former Atlanta golfer, he won down in San Juan about 3 or 4 years ago, and after he won, $1.2 million or whatever it was, he said, "I'm just glad to have my job back," because he was off the tour because he didn't qualify, didn't have enough wins, didn't make enough money. Now that he won that, he had 3 more years to play.
Okay.
He said, "I'm just glad to have my job back."
Right.
Anyway, all right, 8:43. We'll recap the weekend sports coming up.
Curtis Orchard with You Pick 'em Apples. Randy tells us more.
We grow about 31 different varieties of apples, and there are a lot of new varieties. When we started, you still had this sort of standard old favorites: Gold Delicious, Red Delicious, Jonathan, a few other varieties that were lesser known. But now the apple industry has become much more gourmet in its taste and selectivity, and the apple breeders have become much more experimental in what they try and what they find works. It's not like genetic modification, but it's more like they look for really obscure varieties to cross with one another. Came up with the Honeycrisp apple. And there's another one that isn't as well known, but it's done very well for us, and that's called Zestar. We call it a cousin to the Honeycrisp because it has one of the parents, but it has a little different flavor, a little different season to it. But those types of apples didn't exist really 30 years ago.
Curtis Orchard open 9 to 6, 11 to 6 on Sundays. CurtisOrchard.com.
Illini fans, taste what's special about Jets Pizza by ordering any of their specialty pizzas for $5 off. That's right, save $5 on all specialty pizzas like the barbecue chicken pizza, chicken grilled to perfection, premium mozzarella cheese, bacon, red onion, and BBQ sauce. All piled onto Jets' amazing crust made from dough they make fresh every day. There's also their super special all-meaty chicken bacon ranch and more, all $5 off. Make your day special and order a Jets specialty pizza for $5 off.
Did you know the Anita Purvis Nature Center is a home for live animals? Stop by the Nature Center. View the turtles, owls, snakes, and salamanders. These were orphaned or injured animals who wouldn't be able to survive in the wild, but they help educate the public at the Nature Center. Sponsor an educational animal for as little as $15 a month. And make sure that animal has good food, housing, and medical care. For details, visit urbanaparks.org.
All right, peek at our sports headlines brought to you by the Urbana Park District, where Diana will be at the Turkey Trot on Thursday.
Yes. And Jameel has stepped up to do emceeing and things like that, too. But in any case, registration, if you want to do that or contribute to their scholarships, that's awesome. But it steps off at 9. It's at Crystal Lake Park in Urbana, urbanaparks.org. Football-wise, Iowa on top, 15-13. Reaction from Coach Brett Bielema after the game.
Brad Underwood standing
by.
by.
Thank you so much for clarifying which coach. We have so many options.
We have Brad. Brett was just sad.
I know.
Bummer.
In only 6 or 7 minutes of dang it.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard.
And next up will be Northwestern at 2:30 on Saturday at Memorial Stadium, which is going to be a great game. And we encourage everyone to go if you have tickets, because it'll probably be thin with the students on fall break right now. Illinois over Southern, 88-60. And next up for them will be Friday against Western Illinois at 8 o'clock for that tip-off. So go to that game, too. Here's Coach Brad Underwood.
50-17 on the glass, 110 rebounds in the last two, 60% basically field goal percentage. Probably lead to some pretty good things. I was really pleased with that group at the end of the first half. Finally found a rhythm where we didn't foul. Got some stops, got out and running. I think we had 3 freshmen on the court for a good piece of that, which is always really positive and good to see. Nico was a catalyst in that stretch. Draven defensively was great. And then, Terrence was Terrence. I mean, he's literally the best defender in college basketball, and he did that again tonight. But games get hard when you're up 30. Wish we would have finished better. I thought we turned it over a little bit. But, again, this team's won at UNLV by 30, and this team has played some folks awfully close. So I thought we handled our business, and on to the next.
Yeah, I want to play Brett since you mentioned it.
Okay.
And it just was as disappointed as I've seen him this year. Obviously, it was a tough loss. I mean, 15-13 winning the whole game, and you lose to Iowa, and then you don't get a shot to kick one to win. But here's Brett Bielema after the loss to Iowa.
Not being able to pull that off, play like that for, just short of 4 quarters the way we did, on our prep during the course of the week and our intensity, and kept preaching these guys all week, showed them different examples that every play is going to matter. And then obviously, I think that final drive defensively, we've done so many good things, but we had 2 DPIs on that drive and gave them too much free yards. And then they hit a crease run that we'd stopped all day, just one guy here, one guy there, and it ends up being the difference in the ball game. And then obviously the failure to execute on that last drive. I just, think there's some things we can do better as coaches to help our players to get better at the line of scrimmage. And then, I don't want to get lost in negativity. There's a lot of guys played their ass off today. A lot of guys went out there and competed. Reggie Love, again, just the workload that he's taken. I thought, John, again, did a lot of really, really good things at wide receiver, some more positive things defensively to rebound and play the way we did for the majority of the game was good. But it's going to be a gut check this week. Obviously, these guys have done a lot of really good things. I want them to get a chance to play in postseason, but the only thing we got to do is worry about beating Northwestern. Everything else take care of itself. We got to focus on them, put this game to bed, learn from it, learn about the things that they did well. So if we see it again this week against Northwestern, but we're going to have a great week of practice, best week of the year, and get a chance to play on Saturday and see where we can go.
What are some of those things you wish you would have done differently at the end?
I think overall, when you're playing a game like this, we've got to have something happen in special teams, right? Like a positive play. There were some things that I think punt return wise, that if we just clean it up a little bit better, get Isaiah started, maybe have some mojo there. Never really got a chance on kickoff return. They had the one punt return there at the end. We condensed down, thought they were bringing pressure, and they got a little mojo on that return, but our guys answered. So, and then offensively, I know they knocked down a lot of balls at line scrimmage, so that's going to be a big point of emphasis for us to be able to take care of that, and you can do some things with our guys to keep their hands down.
Brady called timeout there on fourth down. What was the conversation to go forward?
Yeah, it was actually a 4th and 6 go by what we have. I really had subscribed to that. On the 3rd and 2 play, I said we're going to go for it here with 2 plays, and then we lost yardage. Just felt the negative energy right there. So, but offense felt strong about making a call, and I called a timeout and said let's go for it. And obviously we failed to execute, and then knew that we still had a chance to stop them on defense. Just didn't know if we'd get another chance to get the ball back.
Yeah, we did not. And I think, too, they had the ball, and it was 3rd down. There was still going to be time to get the ball back. It was like 3rd and 9, and they're probably not going to pass because they want to run the clock, so you run the football. And the guy got like 10 on 3rd and 9, and that was brutal. Yeah. Because they kick a field goal, and all of a sudden we're down 5. There's a chance, right?
Right.
And didn't get there, so that was heartbreaking. It was really disappointing. So I would venture to say that this is the biggest game in Brett's career here this Saturday, because it's that important to extend play.
Let's beat the Wildcats.
And we're 5.5-point favorites. I think that's a lot of points for a team playing as well as Northwestern, and they're going to a bowl, and we need to go to a bowl. So we got to strap it on, focus, and get the extended play so that we plan. We get the 15 practices. We played near the first of the year. I mean, I have no idea what bowl we'd go to, but looking at the record and how competitive we are and how exciting we can be, I would think a lot of bowls would love Illinois. And it's pretty much, it didn't really amount record. It's about who travels. Will the Illini bring people? And boy, we brought people to Florida last year. It was a little different scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to see Johnny Newton and anybody else has a chance to go in the 1st or 2nd or 3rd round. But you'll see the Illini, and we'll bring it, and it'll be fun. The marching Illini, all that.
All right.
Is really important. So we really to have a 2-in-a-row bowl thing is something we've just not been able to do. This is a big game.
And we'll get that insight from Luke Altmaier after 4 today here on ESPN 93.5 during the drive. Thanks to Dogtown Heating, Aaron Plumbing, First Federal Savings Bank, Crossroads Contractor Supply, from State Farm Insurance, Brian Hansen, Carpenters Local 243, their apprenticeship week last week. And then we also have Max Twin City Recycling. Ahead of that is Jay Lehman's hour at 3 o'clock here on ESPN 93.5. And you can always podcast our shows at StevieJay.com.
Be interesting to see what Jay thinks and about the coming week, and of course about Iowa. But Jay will bring the energy, always does, and it's always entertaining after 3 today. Short week for all of us. We're just here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, as are the boys. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to take our Thanksgiving break Thursday, Friday. Check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier. What's it looking like there, fella?
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, and Van vicinity as expected. And this Thanksgiving week, we'll lead it off with a widespread rain system making its way out of the plains. A few drops are expected this morning. More widespread activity this afternoon. For a time tomorrow, we'll move into some chilly weather the middle part of the weekend, and an even colder air mass that builds on in over the course of the weekend. That too may be preceded by a weak weather system. For the day today, cloudy, breezy, turning cooler up to about 50. Temperatures will slide back into the 40s as rain moves in during the course of the day today. Best coverage is this afternoon, as well as tonight, with periods of rain. Overnight lows right around 45 and a gusty easterly wind. For the day tomorrow, some rain in the morning, cloudy, windy, turning cooler, highs to about 46, and then falling temperatures in the afternoon. Down to 28 tomorrow night, partly cloudy, windy, cold, 44 on Wednesday, 46, and some sunshine for Thanksgiving Day Thursday. We'll cloud things up on Friday, maybe a couple of snow, rain showers on Saturday. Weekend high temperatures near 40. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Okay, again, our Stever offer is $500. I'm giving somebody to Dick Van Dyke Appliance World to buy an appliance, $500 off a purchase of at least $1,000. And you just go to GoStever.com. You can enter that. And or text in DVD, Dick Van Dyke. If you would like to do that as well, you can do that 217-359-2255. And just keep in mind that all you got to do to run around and get your stuff, get her done early, That way you don't freak out and worry too much. But you got, if you're hosting or you're going somewhere, you're bringing a dish, whatever you're doing, people generally have plans. And listen, it is all about love. It is all about love.
Don't get too stressed.
And people
Just
get
take
really
some deep
stressed because
breaths.
they don't like them. And I got to go every year.
That's right.
Just understand that when the person in front of you isn't driving well and they're going 32 miles an hour in a 55, you just say, God bless them.
Yes.
Just relieve it. It
I
isn't worth
love
all
that.
the stuff, all the anxiety, all the angst that we go through.
Get rid of the negativity, cover it with positivity.
Just try and be appreciative of what your life is. I know. They're all challenges. Everybody has challenges. It's just the level of what that challenge is. And if you just be thankful for breathing and having what you have, it's just a better path, because the negative is real and it can really drag a person down. The positive is real because it can really bring a person up. Hang around people when you can that bring you up versus bring you down.
Absolutely.
And feel sorry and empathy for those that are like that, because think of their life. It isn't very happy. I know. And it's tough. So just cover it in love. And the greatest of these is love.
Yes.
Faith, hope, joy. Faith, hope, love. Faith, hope, love. Hey, faith, hope, and love.
Yes.
2 Corinthians, greatest of these is love. Okay, back tomorrow.
God bless you, Stevie J.
God bless you, Diane Ducey. We're thankful for you. That's for darn sure. Absolutely.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay, back tomorrow. Thank you for all your efforts.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Don't forget, it is Jay Lehman, the incomparable one, the amazing energy guy. Put he and I in a room, it lights your house. It's Jay Lehman this afternoon after 3 for a full hour, then repeated in the 5 o'clock hour. And then Luke Allmeyer, who's the second-string quarterback. You'll hear him handle it with wonderful grace and optimism, because that's the kind of guy he is. He's got a lot of stuff. He's got great character. Luke Altmaier will be on after 4 o'clock with Lon and Derek. Again, thank you for listening. Meet you back on the radio tomorrow. Have a great one Monday.
Hi, I'm Champaign County Clerk Aaron Ammons. Voting is a civic duty and responsibility that I work every day to protect and enhance as your county clerk. You have a choice to vote in person or by mail. The data shows that vote by mail is the most efficient way to vote. There are many reasons why, and here are a few. Instead of using your tax dollars for physical space and buying more election equipment, vote by mail allows us to reduce election costs. VBM increases overall voter turnout, and there's no need to schedule time off work or find transportation to cast your ballot. Just follow the step-by-step guidance we mail to you, fill out your ballot, and mail it back to our office. It's that easy. If you use one of the drop boxes located throughout the county, there's no charge for postage. Other states have universal VBM elections, and they see the savings and higher voter turnout we deserve. I strongly encourage you all to sign onto the permanent vote by mail list and vote from the comforts of your home. Go to ChampaignCountyClerkIL.gov and sign up now.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
If you're tired of the same old turkey or ham meal for the holidays,